Hello everybody, my name is Paula Gila, a student of the University UTPL of Loja, and this is for the assignment of syntax and teaching grammar with the topic grammatical functions objects. So the first we need to know is the types of objects are three: a direct object, indirect object, and oblique object. The direct object is the noun or pronoun receiving the action. Direct object answers the question what or whom. Indirect object is the noun or pronoun by the action. This answers the question to whom or for whom. Oblique object is the noun or pronoun governed by a preposition. So for the first tip that I am going to say is select 3 or 4 sentences which have a direct and indirect object. If possible, try to personalize them using the name and background of your students. Divide the class into groups. Give each student one of the sentences, but tell them not to show to anyone else. They must copy each word of the sentence onto separate little pieces of paper. When they have finished, tell the students to lay out the pieces of paper on the desk in front of them. They must then challenge piece with another student in the group and try to put the sentence back together. At the end of the activity, ask the students to come and write their sentence on the board. They should then work as a group to discuss which ones are true or not. For example, the message reached the liar. The liar is the direct object. And Joel played the drum. The drum is the direct object. For me personally, doing in this way is more effective because we work in groups with the students and does make the class more didactic. At the same time, that we achieve the objectives that we want to them to develop. The second tip is Cool I Spy. It's a good one to use because especially when you're first trying to teach the direct object, subject verb, what's out they are saying. I spy something red and they, for example, see something in the corner like flower. Then the student answer. Have to say a flower. Then you say, okay, well, why is that a direct object? And the student has to give his answer. Once again, the repetition is very important at this point. The subject verb, what I spy, what I spy a flower. For the second, indirect object is a noun or pronoun that tells to who or to what or for who or for what the action of the verb is done. So in this activity or tip is called musical chairs. It's just a musical chairs game, but what you do is one of the last person that is left standing, if they don't have a chair to sit in, you ask them a question about indirect object. Usually you can have them to go to the board, write a sentence out that has both the direct object and indirect object in it. If they get right, they can control the music for the next round when the students start going around in the circle. Get pretty active. If they get ground, then they are out. Example. Sarah showed the class her new glasses. The class is the indirect object. The second is collect a series of examples of sentences with indirect objects. This could be from a collection of your student homeworks. Select a mixture of correct and incorrect sentences. If all your samples are correct, write some that they are incorrect. Write the sentence off the board or dictate them for the students to copy down in their notebooks. Ask them to decide which ones are correct and which are wrong. For the incorrect sentence, tell them to correct them. And final one, oblique object. Oblique object refers to the noun phrase that happens after a preposition. The oblique object also receives the direct object. It is like indirect object. The difference is that it occurs in a prepositional phrase. An oblique is a noun or noun phrase related to the verb by a preposition. So if the beneficiary of a verb is a complement or to or for, it is an oblique. It is important to the first step. It is important to differentiate between indirect and oblique object. Oblique object is a noun or pronoun answering whom or what after a preposition in a prepositional phrase. For example, he gave a paper to me. To is a prepositional phrase and me is the oblique object. So once again, in my opinion, these types of teaching is very didactic because the students learn in a better way with non-traditional classes uh, that work by emphasizing repetition and practice. And for me, the practice is the more important in a class to the student develop their objectives.